So you're on Facebook and you come across the Inwelling Photography Bird Lovers Group. And of course, you fell in love with birding. Now you want to do it as a hobby. Who wouldn't? So, to get started, I'm going to share with you 6 tips that you need to know when doing bird photography. Join me. Tip number 1, you need to invest in the right gear. And when I say right gear, I mean you need to get a DSLR or mirrorless camera, and you need to invest in a telephoto lens. And when I say telephoto lens, I mean anything with a focal distance more than 300 millimeters. Like this bad boy right here. The reason for this is that you need all the reach that you want. Because in bird photography and wildlife on a whole, your subjects are usually far and you do not want to disturb them, and basically you might not be able to get as close to them as possible. And having that long focal length will help you get a closer picture. But you're not done yet. You'll also need a fast card. Whatever type of card that your camera uses, make sure that it has a very high writing speed, or to writing speed, right? And the reason for this too is that in wildlife photography and birding, you will want to capture a moment, and birds do not stay in one place like models for you. They will jump from branch to branch, and maybe you want that perfect shot. So I'll give you an example what I mean by having a fast card or fast reading card. Listen carefully to this. So you notice how fast the burst rate was and how slow it gets. This means that the card in there is not really fast. And you will start shooting, trying to get all the frames, all the pictures, like when the bird fly away. And your camera, your card, will start buffering and will start telling you, wait, I need a moment, too many photos. Let me process this all in. And by doing so, you may lose some special moments, right? So invest in the right gear. Good. So you took my advice, you have invested in the right gear, you have all the top brands and so on. Second of all, before you go out there, you need to know your camera, know your settings. And we will not go into all the settings right now. There are 2 settings I would love you to know. One is to have continuous focusing on your camera. Now, I'm shooting Nikon. It may be known as something else in Canon and Sony. Canon and Sony shooters. But you need to have your camera in a continuous focusing mode. And what the reason for that is because when you are locked on to your subject, meaning your bird, as I said before, the birds, they are not models. They will not stay there for you to shoot them. They will be flying or jumping from one place to the other. You want the camera to continuously be in focus with the bird, right? To have those nice clean shots. So please have your camera in a continuous focusing mode. Second setting that you need to have is 3D tracking. Now you may or may not want to use it, but 3D tracking will again keep a lock on that bird and track that bird wherever it goes. So make sure you have that. And also, as a bonus, you need to set your shutter speed at a very high rate. Because, again, with moving subjects and small subjects, you need to try to capture as much frames as possible so that you could get that perfect shot. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3. So you have the gear, you know how to use it. So you wake up one morning, right? And you put on your red shirt, your yellow pants, and your baseball cap. Don't do this, right? The reason why is because birds see a wider range of colors than humans do, and they will see you coming a mile away. So my advice to you is to use neutral colors. And if your pockets are deep enough, you can invest in those camouflage type clothes. So try to blend in with the environment. So at least you can get a little upper hand on that bird. Not that I'm saying that you will, because those birds are very sharp, and because of the wide spectrum of seeing colors, they can detect the slightest change in shades, right? So try as much to blend with your environment or use neutral colors when you're going out. So you wake up this morning, you change your clothes. Okay, do not wear that red shirt or that yellow shirt or even that white shirt. Okay, use neutral colors. You have your breakfast and you decide to go out at 10. No. At that time, the sun is high up, the birds are not feeding anymore, so you'll just be wasting your time. The best time to go birding is early morning, when the sun is rising, for 2 good reasons. You get a very nice soft light, so your pictures are going to come out great, right? And 2, that's the time that your birds are coming out to feed. Okay? So remember, the early bird catches the worm. Be that bird that catches the worm. No, wait. You are capturing the bird, so you cannot be the bird. Anyway, just be early when you're going out to birding. If you are not a morning person, you can still have a chance in the early or late afternoon. And we call that time the golden hour. This is when the sun is setting. Again, the light is not harsh, it's very soft, and you get that nice golden hue over your pictures. And that time, birds will be out again, getting the supper, trying to get ready for the nighttime. So it's a perfect time to go birding. The only birds that you may get during noon or when it's bright sunlight are raptors, like chicken hawks, crestals, eagles. Those birds tend to soar high up in the sky at noon, at bright sunlight. So you can get that. Just bear in mind, when you're shooting in high sunlight, the heat coming out from the earth can cause your pictures to appear blurry. So keep that in mind. So your best time is early morning or late afternoon. Tip number 5. Learn the bird's behavior. Understand the feeding pattern, its habit, and its habitat. That will help you zoom in onto where to find the bird that you're looking for. So if you're looking for water birds, you won't go into the forest unless there's a lake in the middle of the forest. So you'll go to the shorelines, right? Take, for example, hummingbirds. Learn their feeding pattern. A hummingbird will come on to a flower about every 15 to 20 minutes. So what I would do, I would set up my camera, take my time, set up my camera next to the flower that I want to photograph the hummingbird and just wait for it to come. So that is super important. Okay, learn its habitat. Where does the bird usually come to? And wait for it. Don't work too hard, right? Also, I just want to stress, do not disturb the bird's habitat. If you find any bird nesting, leave it alone. Stay far away from that nest, because you're just going to make that bird fly away, or you're just going to increase its the potential of predators getting to that bird. Good. So let's move on to the last one. Tip number 6. Keep practicing. I cannot stress that more. Practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the better you get at it. The first day you'll go out birding, you'll get a lot of issues. Even the 5th day, even the next month, the following year, you will have shortcomings. But do not let that stop you. Continue practicing. You keep your old photos. Keep everything. And measure them. After a year, after 6 months, look at the first set of photos that you did and the ones that you have now. Trust me, the first set that you have will look like crap. But that is a good thing. It shows that you are getting better. So keep practicing. You do not have to go very far to practice. You can stay in your backyard and keep shooting. So there are more tips like this. Just follow me on Ian Welling Photography Bird Lovers Group on Facebook. The link will be in the description below. Or you can log on to my website. Again, it's in the description below, where I will be offering master classes on birding and starting up your photography. Hope to see you next time. If you love this channel, if you love what you're hearing right now, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and follow me.